So how often should you check your 401k? We've been told that doing it too much can lead to bad investment decisions. But listen to this. A new analysis from BlackRock found shifting your stock investments once or twice a year towards the best performing sectors, they can result in some pretty big gains. So you got to find that Goldilocks approach, I guess. Not too much, not too little. Is rebalancing something you do for your clients? And if so, how often?
When you look at your 401k, there's a lot of folks out there that have, I'd say, kind of a set it and forget it type mentality.
Sure.
And I think, the younger you are, the fine it can be with having that type of approach. So as an example, both our boys work here and both our kids in the 401k. My son, I know, came to me a couple of years ago when the market was down, was kind of frustrated. And I have him in a pretty aggressive allocation because he was 20 years old.
Sure.
And I said, don't worry about it right now. It just, continues to grow and get bigger over time. You're focused on trying to accumulate assets. But as you get closer to retirement time, in fact, they've coined the phrase now, it's called the retirement red zone. And that's really, about 5 years before retirement. What happens in your 401k can have a significant impact. I just had this conference or meeting with a client. We'll call them Dan and Lori. And Dan and Lori came in, and I looked at his 401k, and he had 100% of his money invested into the S&P 500 index fund, which, quite frankly, with the S&P 500 index at the record level highs right now, what fantastic growth that he has. But the challenge is with him getting closer to retirement time, he's going to get all of the good and all of the bad. And with the market at an all-time high, you think of the philosophy of buy low, sell high. Now may be a good time to take and consider diversifying the portfolio. So when you're looking at how often should we rebalance the portfolio, the two areas to take a look at would be based upon markets being at abnormal levels. So we have had 13 out of 14 weeks in a row that the S&P and the market as a whole has gone up. And it's been like almost, I think, 40 years that you've had that big of a winning streak. So now that the market is out of the norm, this could be an area why it's good right now to revisit the asset allocation in the portfolio. And it's no different than being disciplined enough to buy on the dip when the market goes down. And it doesn't necessarily feel good when you watch TV and they're talking about the market getting pounded, but the reality is buy low, sell high is kind of the philosophy. Now, the challenge is for most people in a 401k, they really don't get that customized, personalized advice on what to do. Well, we've got the solution for you, folks. If you go to 401kinvestmenthelp.com, we have an ownership interest in a company called Plan Confidence. So with Plan Confidence, what we can do is we can get a list of the investment choices that you have available within your 401k plan. We'll put them into our system, and then every month when our investment committee takes a look at the recommendations, if and when there's a change that needs to be made to your plan, we can send you a notification that tells you exactly how to allocate your funds within your 401k. So we kind of are taking the guesswork for you out of how to rebalance your plan. The next thing that we can do is we can take your 401k and we can give you two different levels of advice. The first one is what I would refer to as strategic asset allocation. And so when you think about strategic asset allocation, that's diversifying your money between large, medium, small international stocks and bonds. And so oftentimes you hear terms like conservative, moderate, or aggressive. So strategic asset allocation is usually best for the long-term investments. So again, having more than 5 years, and even retirees can have some money in strategic asset allocation because they probably still have long-term money as well. But the second part of it is what is called tactical. And the beautiful thing about tactical is what we're doing is we're looking at the market conditions. And if market conditions deteriorate through our system in Plan Confidence, we can send you an email alert, and that email alert will tell you, hey, it's time to slow down and decrease your equity exposure and go into a more protective fashion because the market conditions have deteriorated. And it's like letting off the gas pedal when the weather is bad outside. That same process happens. So if you have a 401k and you want to get really some customized advice, the Plan Confidence will help you take a look at how often you should rebalance your investment portfolio. So you can take a look at it. You can give our office a call. We'll actually show you how to log in, show you what it looks like. But for less than $25 a month, you can get expert advice on your retirement dollars at 401kinvestmenthelp.com, and we'll get that set up for you.
Again, if you need more information about this, how often you should check how to properly rebalance, it's as easy as reaching out to the team, 419-794-3030 on the website. In addition, is also arhq.com.